From lashes for days with the viral Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara to lift and color from their brilliant eye brightener, Thrive Causemetics is the go-to for amplifying everyday looks. Plus, every product is 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and made with clean, skin-loving ingredients that work with your skin. Amplify your everyday. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/shine26 for an exclusive offer of 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/shine26.
Hi sailors, it's time for a new podcast here on explorenorth.no. I'm your host, Jon Amtrup. We are going to talk to a very passionate and inspiring young lady. She is a marine biologist and an explorer and an ocean lover. Belén Garcia Ovide is currently in Bodø on the ship Tilvera, getting ready to sail to Svalbard with guests. And we are going to talk about how to save the ocean, why we should save the ocean, the meaning of the ocean, and yeah, she is very inspiring, so you should definitely listen to this. And while we're on the subject, she is heading to Svalbard, and if you are heading to Svalbard or want to sail to Svalbard, I can recommend, without blushing, well, I'm blushing a little bit, my new book, the new edition of Sail to Svalbard. You can find more information about it on explorenorth.no, or just send me a mail and I'll send it to you for a price, of course. But for now, listen to Belén. Good morning, Belén.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you look out of the window of Tilvera now, what do you see?
Well, there is a lot of condensation in my windows, but I feel the movement, and
Yeah.
and it's pretty moving still. We are in the pier, but it's still moving, and I feel and I hear the wind. So it's a little bit stormy outside at this point. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you?
We are in Bodo at the moment in Norway.
Okay. And we've been talking before, and I've been following you guys. And this, you wrote something on Instagram that it was your dream to finally come to Norway to sail in the fjords. And can you tell us a little bit about your experience sailing in the fjords?
Yeah, sure. So, well, yeah, like I was in Tromsø before 2 times actually in the winter time, like 2017 and 2018. But it's very different, right? Like when I was there, I was going to visit some friends that were working in with the killer whales, and I was kind of investigating how the small tourism companies were doing with the whale watching there and the killer whales, because it was something very new, no? Like suddenly all the killer whales were in those fjords, and everybody wanted to get out to see the whales. And I went there just to explore a little bit how was that situation. And I had an impression of the fjords, no? But somehow I still had this in the back of my mind that I need to come back in the summer. And I heard stories that Norway is a complete different thing in the summertime, or not in the middle of the winter, no, where everything is so snowy and white. And also, since I was very kid, I dreamed about coming here in the summer, because I used to watch many documentaries about killer whales, since it's always been one very important animal in my life somehow. And I saw this background, no, behind the killer whales, like the trees and the green and the fjords, and I was always dreaming about coming here in the summer to see this feeling also, no, to experience this feeling. And so it was very nice, of course, to do that now after so many years, but it somehow brought all these memories from my childhood when I was sailing in the fjords. And it still is not everything super great, but it's super beautiful, and it's been really enjoyable. And we were super lucky with the weather actually, so that also helps always.
Yeah, cool. Because you came from the
Yeah.
Netherlands, and what was your first port of call in Norway?
Do you mean protocol? What do you mean?
No, port of call. Where did you, on which part of the Norwegian coast did
Ah,
you came into first?
yeah, we went to Bergen.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then just sailing along the coast, exploring a little bit. We made a stop in Preikestolen.
Preikestolen, yes.
Preikestolen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then,
Did you go up on the
oh
mountain?
yes, we did a
Oh,
wonderful hike. It was really rainy, but it was so dramatic landscape, absolutely beautiful. And one of the best things of going so early in the season is that there is almost no people around, and so it really keeps the feeling of being just you and nature, no, and having this connection that we are all looking for, no, to feel ourselves part of being part of the nature, and that was very powerful. And
yeah.
then we went to Svartisen also, did another hike
Okay.
there. Wow, that was mind blowing as well for me, like seeing the glacier and all these reflections in the fjord, and we were the only boat there, and yeah, it was
Cool.
super magical, beautiful.
Yeah. Nice. You obviously have a very strong connection to the ocean. Can you tell us a little bit about how that developed?
To be honest, it came really from my heart. Like I come from Spain, from Madrid, the center of Spain, and there's no ocean around me or anything. In my family, I don't have anybody that is a sailor or a fisherman, no, like people living by the coast. So I really don't know why or how it came, but I always felt it really deep in my heart since I was very kid. Like for example, with what I was telling you before, no, about just seeing a documentary on TV about whales, it made me just cry of emotion already. And my mom, I was asking my parents like, do you know where this can come from? Because it's true, it's a very powerful connection, no? And that's what drives me to do all the things I'm doing, perhaps. And my man said to me that, yeah, when you were very like just 3 years old, you were already seeking for the ocean. We used to go in the summer a few weeks to Gandia, to the east of coast of Spain, and I just wanted to get in the water and no careful at all, just going there and run away. And so always calling me. It's been always calling me the ocean, and then I had the chance to really explore this feeling when I was a little bit more mature and more conscious, and I decided to start my studies in biology. I did 3 years in Madrid of studies, only biology, and that was also very important for me to understand how life works and what is life, no, and where do we come from, what we really are, where are we going, and all these questions that we all have at some point, no, but understanding life from many different angles, no, the physical angle, the pure biology, the evolution, the chemistry, the physics, and for me that was, I don't know, it's very useful in a way for yourself for the understanding, no, and and then I had the chance to choose, okay, and I have 1 year I can choose if I want to go to the south of Spain or to the Canary Islands to focus a little more in the ocean. And I never doubted. I just went straight for it. And since then, I've been really hooked in the ocean science. I started my career with whales and marine mammals in the Canary Islands. And with citizen science, always trying to not do only science, but also not pure science and purely academic, but more focused as well on involving everyone, engaging people, and have everyone being part of the mission of protecting the oceans. No? So yeah, that's a little bit how everything
Cool.
started.
Yeah, and how did you get into sailing? Was that just a natural development of your interest in the ocean, or how did that come about?
Yes, I think it was. I didn't think about sailing when I started, exploring the oceans. It was mainly by diving. So I went in the water. I was diving almost every day. It was very intense. I was working at the same time. I was doing my studies, but I had so much energy with when I first came to the Canaries when I was 20 something, 21 or 22 years old. And somehow it came along. Like when you go out in the field and you are studying whales, and of course you need a boat, no, and that's your main platform. And
Yep.
then I had just a random experience. Like we were going to to the carnivals, like the typical carnivals in the Canary Islands,
Yep.
and I went through a ferry to La Palma. But then on the way back, we missed the ferry because it was full because everybody was going there for these 2 days of partying, and then for the way back there was no ferries, so we somehow had to find a way to come back to Tenerife, no? And I remember being with my friends, super tired, just not we didn't know what to do, and suddenly I saw a sailing boat on a pier, and I was just drifting away on my thoughts and thinking how cool it would be just to use this sailboat to come back, no? Just like a. And then I went and talked to them, and I had a bottle of rum. Actually, so I just offered them like, "Hey guys, do you wanna have some rum with us?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." They were like a young group of friends, and they had their own sailboat. And somehow we got there that night. We had a lot of fun, beautiful connections, and they invited us to sail over because they also lost some friends in the party and they needed some crew, something like that. No, the stories of life. And that was my first experience on a sailing boat, like properly sailing under sail. No?
Yep.
And I will never forget that. It was just like falling in love, like really like pure love for this feeling. And since then I've been really aware, like wow, I want this in my life, and it's very connected to what we are doing somehow. So that was my start, no?
Yep.
And then I was very lucky. I
Cool.
got I have a very good friend that I met also in Iceland later. That is a solo sailor, a wonderful man. In his but at the time it was 2013 when I met him. He was in his 60s or something, and he was solo traveling from the Netherlands to Greenland, to remote areas, to the Arctic by himself, in his 15 meters sailboat that he designed. And we met in Húsavík in Iceland. I was already working there and as a guide, and he was kind of my mentor, no? This we connected right away. He was helping to do some ocean courses, marine mammal courses in Husavik, and I was being a student by that time.
Right.
And it was also like instant connection. It was somebody. He was somebody that loved teaching and exploring and telling stories. And I was so eager to get the knowledge, just like like it was a little bit like a movie, like, oh yeah, tell me everything about it. I want to learn everything, and I was so fascinated. And thanks to that beautiful connection, I was actually sailing with him for every time I could. No, I was living on his boat. I was helping him with everything. We were sailing around Iceland, and that was my first steps towards really feeling what it is to have a boat and to live on board, and 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 everything that is around the sailing world.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And now you have a 22-meter long boat that you're living on and running your business.
Yes, it's actually 24 meters with a bowsprit, but it's
24.
yeah, yeah. So that's true.
Can you tell us a little bit about Tilvera? Because yeah, that's a story of passion and connections too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I always dreamt to have my own boat. I was not in a hurry. Somehow it needs to be the right moment, right? Like we cannot force things. They just come to you when it's the right time, but you always have to watch out for that dream, no, that you have. Like read the signs of life. And I think with Tilvera, yeah, I somehow I cannot even believe it. No, for me this is still very very recent. This just happened last year. We took over the ship, and it was again these connections of life. I was doing my sailing courses in the Netherlands, and my partner and me, we were always looking at boats, just like any other, sailor, like always looking at, oh, this boat,
Yeah.
that boat I'm talking about, and looking to boats everywhere. Everywhere we go, we have to see every boat and the designs and talk to people. But we were not really thinking on having it now. We were always just very excited about seeing boats and thinking about our what do we want to do with our lives, no? And first we thought about having a smaller boat because this for me is so too big. It's still too big. When I think about it, it's like, oh my God, what did I came to, no? Into. But it's true that because my partner and me, we have already many projects going on about sailing and the ocean, even if we didn't own our own ship. But but then having a smaller boat that could be only used for pleasure, no? And to sail away and to enjoy, no? It was too much of a luxury for us because we don't have that time really. We are always really excited about our work and we are very active, and so it didn't really make sense to have a smaller boat for enjoying, but it needed to be something bigger, something to put our skills also and our dreams into a boat, and also to to use it for as a platform to work and transmit all these messages that we are already working on about education, ocean conservation, science, personal development, etc. And we thought, okay, then yeah, we need a bigger ship so that we can take people in and uh, and explore with them and make them part of our adventure and lifestyle, and then have an income as well, no? So then we can that formula, it makes sense,
Yeah.
and that is the reason why we are now in this ship, in this expedition vessel,
Yeah.
and Tilvera was originally called Anna Margareta. She's a wonderful expedition ship. She's been sailing for more than 20 years around the globe. She's a really solid steel ketch, two mast, and really made for all kinds of adventures. And the most beautiful part of this story is that the owner of the ship is the builder of the ship, and he has a beautiful story, with the boat. He's one of these passionate sailors that loves teaching, that you can be for hours just listening to his passion because you feel his passion, no? And he's been to Antarctica for 8 years with the boat and all over, and he built the ship just how he wanted, no? So there is no other boat like this one, and he built it
Mhm.
with the purpose of going to the most extreme parts of the world and explore and teach people, no? And I think to me that's the most powerful thing about this project now, since it's now the transition year, right? It's not like we just took over and then there is a wall and it's a start point. It's actually a beautiful transition between their story, the story of Heinz, and his family that was involved on building the ship, sailing, and everything else, and us coming in with new inputs, but somehow really in align with his values, no? So we are taking over a beautiful legacy, and we are very proud and happy of how everything worked out, Yeah.
Yeah. And he actually contacted you because he wanted you to take over his legacy and the boat, didn't he?
No, it was very natural. So I was in my sailing course in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
and Tilvera or Anne Margareta at that time, she was also there because Heinz, the owner and the captain, he was also in cooperation with the school, with the ship, taking students on the ship to train them, and it still is doing that. And right now we are also doing that. We have students from the sailing school that need sea time, that need to fill up their training task book, and this is a training ship also. So in that sense, I knew about this boat because I was studying, and in my books I was reading about this boat already.
Ah.
And I was studying stability, and there was always the example
Yeah.
of Anna Margareta and the curves, and so I
Okay.
I knew the ship in my books.
Yeah.
And my partner Heimir, he was also around, and he was just going for a walk, and he met Heinz in the pier, and
Mm.
that's how a beautiful conversation started. Heinz showed the ship to Heimir. They connected very well, but at that time, Heinz was not really Heinz and Grid. They were not necessarily looking for somebody. They were still trying to realize about the idea that they need to, or they want to sell, but it was
Yeah.
no advertisement, nothing. It all came like this, no? That in a conversation, like, oh, actually, yeah, we are thinking about maybe stop sailing because, and then Henry was like, oh, okay, and why, and so on, and understanding, no? And it came very natural. So there was no, and also it was somehow a trust built there, that was the most powerful thing, because then Jaime will call me, and I go to the ship and I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is so beautiful. But the atmosphere on board also, and I'm meeting them and everything. And then since then we had a relationship based on trust, and I think we really like each other. We really wanted to have a meaningful story behind, not just a boat. So I think that was really important for us, and for them, it was really important to see that we have our values and we are really active, and we have experience already, no? And I think it really matched
Yeah.
really well. And now, yeah, all the process of paying the boat or the transition, it was mainly based on that trust, like, and I think that you can feel that, that now that we are sailing together, that Heinz is here, I'm here, Hemir is coming now, and we are all meeting each other more and getting to know each other more with guests and students, and it's been a wonderful atmosphere on board, and and I think that it proves that it meant to be like this somehow. No?
Yeah. Cool. But you have a pretty extensive schedule before you, haven't you? You're going to further north and then over to Greenland.
Yes, we are setting sails in 2 days. We go to Svalbard. I hope the wind changes because it's really from the north and quite stormy. But
Yeah.
yeah, we will go to Svalbard, and then we have two skiing tours there, and then nature exploring with Heinz, who's been there for many years. For me, it's my first time actually going there, so I have a lot to
Cool.
learn on the area. And then yes, and then we sail to Iceland, and then we go to Greenland. So then we start
Yeah.
the Greenland season there, that normally we will do with North Sailing and Schooner Opal, but now Jaime and we will be working in Tilvera instead.
Very nice. And for those who haven't been to Greenland, is there a possibility to join? Do you have any vacancies for the coming trips?
Yeah, I think we have still few spots. yeah, in some of the Greenland expeditions. And then the last expedition in so we are going to Scoresby soon in East Greenland in the fjords. That's a very stunning area. I don't know if you have been there. Have you been there?
I haven't been there, but I'm dreaming of it. Yep.
Yeah, it's such a, I don't know, one of the remotest place on Earth, right?
Yep.
And really wild, really like dramatic landscapes. It's a life-changing experience, really, um, to be there. Um, but the last expedition we are gonna make, which is in September, is gonna be slightly longer. So we will explore even a little bit more areas that we haven't even been there, just because we want to explore also, and do more fun stuff. No, not always do the same. That's also something that we really want to focus. No, that not necessarily we are going to have a schedule every year the same. We are gonna have the same concept of exploring sustainability, environment, ocean, and hopefully science and meaningful programs, but not necessarily going to the same areas. But having this all the doors open, no, and open for meaningful projects. But the last expedition in Scoresby, yeah, will be slightly longer, and it includes also the crossing back to Iceland, which is very exciting for those that love the pure sailing, no?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then you can check out your website, I guess, to see if there's any vacancies.
Definitely, tilveraexpeditions.com, and then all the way down, you have a link, sailing schedule 2023. And you can also see exactly
Yeah,
how many spaces we have and the prices and a little bit of the description of where we are going,
cool.
what the tours are
Yeah,
about,
very
pictures.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll include the link in the text to this podcast so people can check it
very
out.
nice.
Um, yeah, and you have touched on it, your passion for the ocean and the sustainability side of it. You've created an organization, a non-profit called Ocean Mission.
Of the missions
Can you tell?
with an S is
Missions.
yeah. We
Yeah,
say what
yeah. It's not just one
exactly.
mission. It's yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
all one ocean and
Yeah.
many missions.
Many missions. Yeah, you have to tell us a little bit about those missions.
Yeah, well, so Ocean Missions is probably the so far the project that it's keeping me really motivated and excited, and I'm really proud of seeing how well is um, is flowing, no, the project. It's a non-profit organization. I founded the non-profit in 2019. It's based in Húsavík in Iceland, where we are based. Um,
Hmm.
and where I have been working as a guide for since 2014 and doing my studies in marine resources and coastal management and whale studies and so on. So I decided at some point um, that it made sense to combine uh, all our skills and strengths of a group of friends that we were working there and make a big impact, no? Because I always felt like me against the world, trying to change the world, often getting mad at myself because it was never enough. And I think this is a very common feeling that other people also have, people that really cares for planet and the nature. Like it hurts, really hurts to see in the news all these dramatic things happening around us, right? And thinking that we may be the last generation that can actually do something to save our planet before it's too late, no? And my parents are probably, or my grandparents, they're probably the only people that can also relate to how it was life when it was abundant in biodiversity, when life was simpler, perhaps not so much luxury, but it was still more sustainable. And the new generations now, they are losing that point of reference, no? And I think that's very dangerous because then we can enter into a no point of no return where the new generations might be lost. Okay, yeah, we need to do something, but they don't know how it was, so they maybe don't care enough because they just simply don't know. No, they were not used to see so many sharks or whales because they are gone, so they don't know. So I think that's very important to realize, and I think that's this project Ocean Mission started with that concept of we need to step ahead and just make everybody realize that we need to do something. It's not about us anymore. It is about the oceans, our planet. Our planet is the oceans because we come from the oceans. We belong to the oceans. Life was originated in the oceans, and oceans move the climate and make everything in balance in our planet. So we need to realize that it's not only on land, it starts actually on our oceans. And we have been neglecting the oceans as humans. We are very disconnected from nature and more um, with the pressure that we have from societies and so on. And we have to break through. So what I said to my friends is, okay, what can we do together? What do we know? What can we put on the table, and what can we uh, transmit this feeling that we have to do something to many other people, no? So that is like a spillover effect, so that everybody starts doing what we try to do also.
Mhm.
And that's how it started. So basically, we combine the sailing experiences, and especially traditional sailing, which I think it makes it even more beautiful. Traditional sailing with education, which is a pillar for change, and science. No? Science is not enough. Education is not enough. Sailing is not enough by like themselves. But if you combine them, we actually created something that is very inspiring for people, and everybody wins. And so basically, that's the concept. And we've been working on different projects. For example, I think the most popular is our sailing expeditions. We have two expeditions per year, normally one in May and one in autumn. Um, this year is a little bit special. We have one in May and one in June, but there is no autumn expedition. And I can explain a little bit why later. But during the expeditions, we try to get people um, that is eager to make this change that we are talking about, but they are lacking of tools, they are lacking of inspiration, they are stuck in an environment that they perhaps don't want to be, and they need to break through. Those people is the people we are looking for. People with talents that they want to work on those talents together with us and for common goals. So often we also have artists, scientists. Well, we are the scientists and sailors, no, but even more people come in
Yep.
and artists, because change can come from all many different angles, not only from science again, no. So uh, everybody can do something, and that's the beauty of these expeditions when people come together and they inspire each other. Okay, and how can we contribute? And it's beautiful to see how in only 1 week of sailing and exploring the most remote areas in Iceland, uh, people really bound together, and there is a lot of brainstorming and new ideas, and people come back with hope, no, which is what we all need to keep working on these missions. And hopefully with new projects and ideas, and they continue their missions later on. And yeah, during the way we try we do have some different science projects or citizen science where people is participating on data collection. We study whales, we study microplastic pollution for the first time in ocean surface in Icelandic waters. We do beach cleanups, monitor the debris on land, entanglements with fishing gear in the wildlife, and and we do several workshops on board. Also trying to touch a little bit the personal approach to work on this again because of all this pressure we have. We need to be our mindset needs to be healthy, and it is a challenge to work in ocean conservation. So we also work that mentally here, and I think through the experience of being together in 7 weeks in a ship like Opal, no, this is the platform we use, the schooner Opal. It's
Yep.
really helping on that transformation at the individual level. and working on sustainability. We really make emphasis on make sure that our food is organic, or make sure that it's low meat, that we work on our personal development as well, because that's very important, the daily changes, but also the collective, no? And that's a little bit what happens in the expeditions. But besides that, we have different educational programs with local schools in Usavik, and we act locally, but our impact is globally, our outreach, and that's a little bit what we try. And there is this conservation conservation approach that we are trying to protect also, and work with local communities, the stakeholders, the governments even, no, and trying to make them understand from a positive point of view that we need to protect the oceans, because otherwise there is no hope. And now we are in a really interesting and exciting phase of ocean missions, where we finally managed to go a step ahead on that mission of protecting really the oceans in Iceland, because we managed to have this area of the northeast of Iceland declared as a hope spot. And hope spots are hope spots are designated areas in the marine environment that are pointed by a panel of experts and scientists because of the value, the biological value. So areas that deserves protection from our governments, and respect and regulations and protection. And in this case, we managed to argue, to show, to provide scientific arguments and all the knowledge that we collect, to tell this area needs to be a hotspot. And this is a project that is actually done by Mission Blue, which is a much bigger organization that works globally,
Yep.
and led by Sylvia Earle.
So Sylvia Earle. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is the goddess of the oceans, no?
Yeah.
And I'm really proud to be part, no, to work with them and her team, and making this possible. And this is the year of the hotspot. This is the year where we are gonna fully focus on the declaration of the hotspot. You will see a lot of media from Mission Blue also talking about our area there in the northeast, and Ocean Missions being the channel, no, like how we are connecting to Iceland and shine and show that this area is important, because of the whales, because of all the seabird life, the natural processes that happen there, the upwellings, the natural cycle, seasonality there. It is definitely unique, and we need to value that.
Yep. Yep.
It doesn't need to be. Uh, because I work in the whale watching industry, and we have many tourists going there, and that's beautiful, and I feel very good when my job is actually to tell people about the beauty of it, and the how fragile it is, and the need of protection. But on the other hand, if we are not working on having a responsible tourism, there is a very thin line there, and I think we actually went over the line already. And because there is no regulations on how many boats we are having out there, how many people can come to this place, and if you imagine Iceland being such a small population, only 300,000 people, and then you have mass tourism coming all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's not sustainable anymore. And then we are losing the essence of the tourism in Iceland, which is based in nature. No, people come here because they want to explore the nature, not because they want to see hotels or people all over the place, stuff like that, no, and that's happening. And then
Yeah.
we also have a lot of pressure from the I guess it's happening all over the world, no, things are changing very fast, and it's scary. But we have now, our oceans are dying, and we are putting more pressure on building kelp harvesting industrial factories to extract, just to extract. And that goes very fast, and almost the locals, they don't notice. But always the ocean protection it's much longer process, no? So we really want to like step ahead and say, no, 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 here, no, here, no, this is
Yeah.
protected. So that's the idea of the hotspot declaration, right? It's a step, it's a previous step before the marine protected area comes in, which that's the final goal, no? When we
Yep.
manage to deal with the governments and the authorities, and we put because the regulations must come from the government. We cannot really do that, but we can be the one saying this is the area. If you need to protect something because you need to, because we need to protect 30% of the oceans by 2030. That's the a common goal that all the countries are committed to. Then you need to start working. We are facilitating, we are trying to facilitate that process to the government so that they can realize, okay, this area, no. So
Yeah.
that's what we're
And you
working on now.
actually, yeah, yeah, and you actually have to make the government protect it, not just declare it a nature
Yeah, it
area
has
or
to be
something like that.
efficient. You're
Because
right. That's a very
yeah,
common
and it has
problem.
to have some, yeah, has some content, because here in Norway, the government has reported in that we have uh, certain areas that are protected, but actually they're not. They're just, it's just a name
It's just on the paper.
in the name. Yeah, on the paper. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I see you
exactly.
trying. Yeah,
I know what you
yeah,
mean, and that's
uh,
quite general happening all over the world. So it's very
yeah,
important to have
yeah,
marine protected areas, but efficient marine protected areas and regulated, no?
yeah,
And
yeah,
we also
yeah,
need to think about maybe redefine how we think about marine protected areas. No, that's a whole new topic,
yeah,
but it's extremely
yeah.
important for this thing. Yeah.
It's extremely important. Okay, before you, it looks like you have to go now. But if you look at the individual sailor, how can he make a, a difference when it comes to sustainability and yeah, all that? If you would give some advice with your background.
Well, I think if people is sailing, no, I guess we are talking about uh, like sailing boats or sailing for pleasure or because people like sailing, right?
Yep.
Then I would say that's already a lot because if you are sailing, that means you have sort of a connection with the oceans, and that's already very important to realize. Just to realize, okay, I love the ocean in a way. I love sailing. You must be, loving the ocean somehow, and you are very connected already. That's already is okay. Realize about that, and then go a little bit beyond now and say, okay, if I love this, then I want to do good for it because I just love this feeling, no? So this is protect what you love kind of thing, concept, of course, that we work a lot with as well in Ocean Missions. But it's very important is to when you love something, it's much easier for you to do something about it. If you don't know it or if you don't feel anything, it is almost impossible. No, you need this thrive. So as a
Yep.
sailor, I think it's important to realize about that. And then there is many things that can be done. For example, now being an owner of a ship, suddenly, no, I am starting to think a lot about because now I can really do things that I was not able to do maybe in other boats that I didn't own. No, like I didn't have any. I can advise, but I don't take the decisions. No? So now I can decide, for example, how do we want to have the provisioning on board? No, where is the food coming from? What food do we want? What values are we building up? What's more important for us? So I think that's one thing. For example, the plastic on board. I mean, the space is very limited on a ship. You don't wanna have a lot of trash anyways. That's also pressuring you to reduce your packaging and maybe find some more alternatives for other type of food, maybe more in bulk, maybe not, uh, because that's helping you also on board, no? And it's good for the planet. It's
Yep.
better. It's just small examples like that. Then, like my experience, I've been working with with sailing in many sailing ships, traditional ships, different types, even ferries. And I always encourage people to participate in science, the ship owners and the guests on board. Um, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. When you do a crossing, for example, it's very likely that you're going to see some dolphins, some whales, something. You can always report that, take a good picture, write the location. I mean, that's fun also for people to do on board. And that's just a small thing, but you can develop that as far as you want, no? In terms of what data can you take and contribute, make collaborations with universities, do workshops on your ship, because a ship is already an inspiring platform. Then you have it, most of it. The most important thing is already there, no? Then you just need a good idea uh, to do good for the ocean. And again, we have these examples of individual actions, but also collective. No, you can really engage with people having a boat and thinking about this angle of ocean protection as well. So yeah, I think that's my advice is just to realize, no, and then think what you like to do and what is good for the planet as well, and learn maybe from others, no. Uh,
Yep.
so there is a very good examples out there of people doing amazing things for the oceans from a sailing boat, and we inspire each other, no. So it's
Yep.
it's pretty amazing. I haven't seen this like maybe 20 years ago. This was pretty new, but now I see more and more initiatives coming up, and I think we can all learn from each other and work together, no? Like maybe also think about it less about competitivity in terms of selling, but just
Yep.
focus more on doing something meaningful, um, rather than money driven, but with a purpose, no? The selling with a purpose concept. I think that's something quite powerful that can also bring an income, but then we change definitely the mindset, no? It's
Yep.
different.
Perfect. I think that's a very good ending to this podcast. And thank you for your time and passion and your willingness to do something about the state of the ocean.
Thank you for the opportunity. Just one more thing,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
forgot to
Come on.
mention this summer, if we still have some spaces for the Hope expedition. This is the special expedition that we have this year,
Yep.
and since it's the Hope Spot year, no, for ocean missions, we are trying to make as much noise as we can. Noise meaning no noise pollution, of
Yeah.
course, but but just like a wave, no, like a huge wave of
Yeah.
awareness that can reach as far as possible, and we want to make a call of action for those that really want to contribute to this wave somehow. And for that, we have created this special expedition that is in June, and we can check that in the Ocean Missions website and also Schooner Opal website. And it's 4 days sailing and 3 days on land. And this Hope expedition is going to focus only in the Hope Spot area, sailing in the region that we declare as a Hope Spot,
Yep.
which is absolutely beautiful, wonderful, full of all
Yes.
these biodiversity values that we talk about. And we are looking for people to come to help us on that mission, to help how how can what can be their contribution to support that we reach as many people as possible, that we create projects in relation to protect this place, no, so that we can make more pressure and make this wave even bigger. And
Yeah.
that's we have a very nice program. um, there's going to be artists coming on board also, having like um, painting art, no, that reflects protection and
Yep.
things that we can use, all kinds of ideas, you know. And I encourage people to check it out. It is in June, and there is a few spots left, and we really want to like select the people with that right thrive and mindset to help us and create a change and work together on this mission. So just wanted to leave
Yeah,
it out there for people to check
yeah,
out
yeah, and it's
because it's a quite
yeah, it
special
sounds like
expedition, and I don't know if it's gonna happen again. So that's only this year because of the declaration.
cool. It sounds like a fantastic opportunity, and I can definitely vouch for the sailing experience
Yes.
in the area. I was there last year, and yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very nice.
so and a chance to learn more from you guys.
Yes.
I'll put that out in the text also. So yeah, thank you,
Thank you very much.
and good luck sailing north.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi guys, hope you found the podcast interesting. If you're looking for more information about high latitude sailing, I've written a book together with Bob Shepton called exactly that, High Latitude Sailing. You'll find it on Amazon and on explorenorth.no. There's all the links to the different editions. Either it's on Kindle or hardcover. So please go to Explore North and check out both the book and other resources that's there. There's a lot of other books and a lot of other interesting podcasts. So until next time, keep sailing.